Hello and welcome. Last time things went more smoothly and I didn't record this much later than I was hoping to. um yeah, this might go up late if I don't think I'm gonna have time to edit this and all this just to get it up in time, but you know what? There's a good chance that when this goes up, it'll be Saturday somewhere. Okay. My apologies if this gets up later. Some things came up, and the time I was expecting to record this sort of became not the time I was going to use to record this. So let's just go with that. Look at the cards carefully. There are exactly 6 of them in front of you. Okay, so last time we left off at a card game, learning the rules. What have we got? I hope everyone here knows how to count. Yeah, maybe. It is Soviet Russia. I was never really very sure about their educational system. Now, you can look at them. After everyone had a look at their cards, Electronic moved on. Oh god, it's all the characters. That's awesome. Everyone had a look at their cards. Electronic moved on. The rules are similar to poker. I hope everyone knows how to play. I knew the rules, but wasn't so sure about the others. First of all, it's a top card, the 1 pair, the 2 cards, and then 3 of a kind. And so on. No flushes or straights, though. In the first round, you choose a card you want to take from your opponent. Okay. In turn, your opponent can choose to swap 2 of his cards around twice. Or he can choose not to, if he doesn't need the card which you are taking. Take a note that your opponent can see which cards are trading places. In the next step, your opponent takes a card he chooses, and so on. I think it's pretty clear. It wasn't too clear to me. Wait, it sort of, kind of sounded like everyone takes 1 more card at some point, and it just I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. Hey, you Einstein! Oyana yelled at him from her table. I didn't get a thing. You'll figure it out as we go. Electronic went to the table, with the diagram leaving Oyana to smolder in solitude. You go first. I hoped I could get my mind around the game fast enough. Lena, more perplexed than usual, reached out for my cards. Crap, I'm not sure what was taken. In the middle of the table, her hands stop. Will you? Oh, yeah, I should be protecting my card. What was the Electronic said? To try to confuse my opponent, I can swap 2 of my cards. Twice. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay. Or I can choose not to. Should I protect it or not? By the way, I can also agree and give her the card she chose straight away. Otherwise, Lena can change her mind and take another card if she wants to. Or she might not. Okay, what do I even have? Queen, 3, 9, 2, 10, 2. I should probably protect my 2s. Okay, that's weird that actually needs a loaded. Let's move the 2s towards the outside. No, that's what I wanted. God damn it. Things were becoming clear. Or at least comprehensible. So, now it's my turn. I can take back my card, or I can choose another one. Fuck that, I want that card. Then I can try to protect her card. Okay. But if I watch closely, I can take the card I chose regardless of her movements. Oh, she's so clever. She's so clever. Just give me my card. Yep. Is that it? Wait, is that the same one? Oh, I don't even know what the two looked like before, but that looks so evil at the moment. I made it. Electronic, who was silently watching our game, nodded in approval. Looks like now we're getting somewhere. Now, during the round, opponents trade cards 3 times. Keep an eye on each other. Penetrate your opponent with your eyes. I chuckled. Penetrate. No, that's horrible, Semyon. That is not funny. What's so funny? Oh, never mind. I tried to keep a straight face. He stared at me for a moment, then moved on. And then we turned the cards up to see whose hand was better. Electronic went back to his diagram. Oh, great. Okay. I don't know. Is this still... She wants the 3... Or she wants it. She can have it. I don't care. Honestly, all my stuff suck at the moment. Oh, no. I have 2 jacks, actually. I'm picking at random at this point. She doesn't know what I have. Okay, ace. I don't have another ace, so... No, she can just take it. I don't need it. All I need to know is not to take that one. Because it hasn't really done any... Crap. That's not what I wanted to do. You just take it back. Okay. That is ideal. It is definitely ideal, and goddamn, when did this become so taxing? Is that an 8? I got another 8. That's good. Yay! Nice. I should have 2 jacks, though. That would be even better. She had absolutely nothing. Okay, I win. Yay! I won. Seriously, it's hard to play. It's hard to play a game that was made up on the spot and not by yourself either. But I won. Although, the moment of glory was tainted by the fact that it was Lena who was the loser. She's not very confident in general, but now she's lost. I'm too embarrassed to even look at her now. I probably should have lost to boost herself. I was just trying to learn the rules. Meanwhile, Electronic probably announced that the first round is over. Oh, I'm sorry. A list of those who made it into the second round appeared on the scheme after a little while. The semi-final pairs consist of Alisa versus Xenia, and Ilyana versus me. A doom sigh escaped me. Ilyana immediately took a seat in front of me. Ha! She glared at me, grinning. How do you manage to outplay Lena? Cheated, perhaps? I'm not you. I just know how to play cards. And I sort of got lucky. At least that's what I want her to believe. And now, how could you outplay Shurik? Ah. Ilyana waved her hand, showing how easy it was. I threatened to join his club. She cheated. Of course she cheated. She grins yet again. What do you hope back to? Not a chance. Ah. Then I choose which card I give to you myself. Isn't that not how the game works? Did you hear the rules? Ah, screw them. It looked like she really didn't care. Okay, but I choose the cards to give to you too. Deal. Inspired by my victory in the first round, I ventured upon this dangerous move. I could have argued, appealed to Electronic, and eventually had my own way, but somehow I felt truly confident about the outcome of this round. Yes, we were breaking the rules, but I was in the same boat as Ilyana. When I looked up Electronic, it's time to begin the semi. Something. This is really weird. What? I'm gonna go ahead and quit something real quick because this is clearly not the thing that's like weighing down my processor at the moment. I hope that that I didn't actually quit it, but hopefully just minimizing it like that will help. It's time to begin the semifinals. He commanded. I carefully checked my cards, ensuring Ilyana couldn't see them. So, time to play cards with an entirely different set of rules. Great, 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 great. Yeah, just take that. That was even worse. Oh my goodness, okay. Maybe I do have to quit it. Maybe I do have to quit it. This has not happened before. Okay, I am back, and I'm pretty sure it was a matter of Steam being particularly stupid and just, I have no idea. My CPU wasn't even being, like, really hit. It wasn't really even intensive at all, nor was any of my memory or anything, and something was just lagging, I think. I think Steam just had a glitch in it at the moment. Now, what do I want to get rid of? I want to get rid of something that I didn't have. Let's give you a 3. I mean, this is so random. Yeah, I can take it. Did I have an 8? No, I don't have an 8, but I have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that would be so bad. Come on. Give me something good. Give me something good. Is this what I... This is the 2. Huh. You don't say. At least I won a single round. And apparently I lost to a small child, which I certainly could be proud of, in some senses. I left the canteen. It was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. Where should I head to? Oh, okay. That is so many options. Ooh. I could go. Okay, that's just like sports in general. Let's see. The beach. Not really a big like beach at night type person. I don't think I'd ever imagine Semyon going to a sports arena. I don't know what a scene is. I could find out. Infirmary. I don't want to get molested today. That's just the square, which is boring. Boathouse. That actually sounds pretty interesting. And the bus stop. You know what? I'm more interested in figuring out stuff. And let's just say the bus stop sounds like a place that might have some answers. The events of this past day kept flashing brightly in my head. That damn useless checklist. That stupid tournament. Right now, I don't want to do a single thing or talk to anyone. I don't even want to start thinking about my current situation. I came to the square and took a seat on the bench while staring at the Ginda statue. I don't know how long I was sitting there, but crickets finally started chirping and brought me back to reality. I got up and walked in a random direction. The bus stop. Somehow, for a second day in a row, I found myself at this place. Maybe subconsciously, I feel as though the bus will be waiting for me to take me back to the real world. Very unlikely. On the other hand, why not? It got dark already. I was just standing there and gazing at the night sky. Astronomy has never attracted me so much to astronautics. It has always been more interesting to look at pictures of far constellation, nebula, and galaxies made by artists than to try to figure out how to measure angular velocities in the masses of stars. But certainly, I would be able to find the Great Bear constellation. Even if I get lost in the snow forest, my only way to find the way out would be that little knowledge about moss growing on the north side of a tree. However, I still don't think that would help me get out. I was about to head back to camp when all of a sudden I caught a noise behind the gates. Who is it this time? Near the clubhouse, it seemed like somebody was walking down the path to the forest. It was so dark that I couldn't see anything but a blurred shadow. I wonder who could be out at night. A pioneer breaching discipline. I followed the mysterious shadow rapidly, but still carefully. I was moving path to path, and after a while I found myself in the depths of the forest, finally losing sight of the stranger. Maybe I should turn back. The trees parted before me, and the magnificent view of a small forest lake struck my eyes. And not surprisingly, it's Slavia. Hello there, Slavia. Then I noticed Slavia. She was skipping and fluttering about, letting her neckerchief loose and her shirt fly up in the air. The whole scene seemed even more fantastic than my own presence in this camp. Slavia looked like a spirit of the forest, or perhaps a nymph. She looked so natural, more like an ancient goddess than a human being. I remember all the theological theories which I read some time ago. This reminded me of pantheism, the idea that God is all that is, everything that we see around. What if it were not the aliens or time warp, but divine providence that brought me here? Indeed, Slavia mentioned that she loves nature, so it turns out that even she is an enigma, isn't she? Slavia went into the water. I was ashamed, but I just couldn't take my eyes off her. Silvery moonlight reflected off her wet skin, making Slavia look like an ancient Greek statue. The Venus de Milo, maybe? The scene was so fabulous there's no room for carnal lust, only sublime admiration of her true beauty. I was simply admiring the perfection of Slavia's form and forgetting everything else, like where I was, what was around me, who was about to find me, maybe. Maybe this isn't hell, but heaven. A branch treacherously snapped under my foot. Slavia turned around, but there's no way to recognize me in the darkness of the night, so I just sounded like a really creepy stalker. Or at least it seemed so. She rapidly rushed out of the lake, put her clothes on in a hurry, and vanished from sight into the forest. I went quietly after her. Slavia was quietly trailing among the trees, choosing the easiest paths, and gracefully avoiding sheared trees, pits, and snags. It was a hard job to keep pace with her. Moreover, I definitely didn't want to be caught. Firstly, peeping is no good, and secondly, in fact, it still remained to be seen what she was doing here. Although it somehow seemed innocent enough, it didn't seem to have anything to do with my presence in this world. And it was just innocent. It was not worth spying on. At last we came out to the square. Slavia stopped and turned around to face me. Do you think I didn't notice you? No. I'm just apparently very oblivious to the whole, getting in trouble because someone catches me. I was a bit confused, but I put a mask of visible calmness. How long ago? I'm not sure. Slavia came closer. 5 minutes ago, maybe? So, even there at the lake? What lake are you talking about? Well, Slavia seemed to be sincerely surprised, so I simply couldn't figure out whether she was pretending that nothing happened or... Well, never mind. I made up my own mind to behave like a gentleman, as gentlemanly as possible in these circumstances, and said nothing. Alright. Unexpectedly easy, she agreed. What a beautiful night. Slavia took a seat on a bench and looked up to the sky. I guess such nights are common here. Well, probably. Why so uncertain? I don't know, I just get lost in thought. Thinking about what? She stared at me like she was looking for something on my face, but then went back to stargazing. Now and then I fall in such a mood at night. During the day I'm wrapped up into work with no time to relax, while at night it's so quiet here. If it wasn't for the crickets and the night birds, no one would feel like being face to face with the universe. For some reason, I didn't think of Slavia as someone who would talk about such matters. As for me, it's even too quiet here. Is it? Yes, really. Anything wrong with that? Well, alright. She stood up quickly and fixed her skirt. It's time to go to bed. Okay, good night. I watched her walking away. Our talk might have been about nothing, but it seems to me it had some deep and secret meaning which could appear only here, only next to Slavia. Seems like even in my situation, such moments of peace and serenity are absolutely necessary. They make me feel united with the universe. I'd say even vital, especially now. I'm not sure how much time I spent sitting there, but after a little while, I started to feel sleepy. I will note, something I have noticed across the several episodes of this is that the dialogue can be a bit questionable. Really questionable, like extremely unnatural exchange, and it feels like it's more of a... I know this was originally Russian, and maybe just this discussion, like dialogue and sentence structure, just doesn't fit like the normal English natural exchange of dialogue, and it's more direct translations or something. But there are a few examples of just not feeling right. I got back, there's no light in the window, so Oka must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I entered the cabin, quietly stripped and laid on the bed. Naked, of course. When you think about it, my situation hadn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I've spent the whole day doing useless stuff. I would never have even thought about doing something like this in the real world. Although I had plenty of time. How much time I would have here is still a total mystery. Maybe an eternity, or maybe there are only a few minutes left. I just don't want to think about the past, or how I got to this camp. For the first time in a long while, I felt really tired. Not only emotionally tired, but also physically tired, psychologically tired, and God who knows how else tired. I just wanted everyone and everything to shove off, starting with my own thoughts. I wanted this mess to somehow be resolved by itself, or at least without my active participation. And what if I'm stuck here forever, and I have to get used to it? So just like that, I'm not ready. Well, my consciousness slowly drifted away from me, and it became progressively harder to concentrate on something distinct. Perhaps it's better to wait until tomorrow. I rolled over and fell asleep. Okay, day 3. Admittedly, very little of importance did seem to happen yesterday, but I have a feeling that this is probably endings based on the different characters. So I'm not really sure which. I think I've pretty much pushed away old Tsundere character there pretty heavily, and I'm not sure about everyone else, but the night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted both physically and mentally. It happened to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects, and then you wake up in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. That part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be a bit early today. Oko was still sleeping, wrapped tightly in her blanket. Wrapped so tightly. In a hot summer? I got up, stretched, went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I'd better shave. I'm also don't think I'm... How old am I supposed to be now? 17? I guess I might need to shave, but... you don't really need to shave regularly until your 20s or stuff. Unless you really start growing facial hair very early. Strange idea. Before, twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need to look if I'm like 17 at the most? So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9 a.m. and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem ice cold, as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me brace up and come back to reality. Whether all these events could really be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. Wow. Are you being brainwashed, Semyon? I feel as though he's being brainwashed a little. Everything's just becoming normal to him. Is he gonna, like, forget his old life and stuff? When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Semyon. Morning. Because of a lack of sleep, my head was still singing, and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 more hours. How come you got up so early? Just happened. And no neckerchief once again. I'll do it myself. Not a big deal. On my way to the canteen. I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss the agenda for the day. So what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care for what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army in the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I could manage to avoid enemy locations. You'll find that out at the lineup. She gave me a wily smile. Oh, don't make me pay attention. I have better things to do. Olga, my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather... Well, I believe that it's okay to miss lineup once. It could get all nasty if I fail to control it right there. Wow, okay. Where did all this courage come from? Good question. You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list for today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, and some other minor tasks. And of course, we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in camp activities today. You bet. Definitely. And now I'd rather... Come on, let's hit the road. I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way, except that I'm now a child, apparently, and I feel a strong distaste of authority, it seems. But the voice within me kept telling me that I have nothing to do with that lineup. Maybe it's my instinct crying out to me, "You're being brainwashed! Stop going there! It's a bad idea!" After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. Well, I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seem to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't have expected anything wrong. I guess my current theory comes along the lines of he's dreaming this. He's dreaming this so heavily, and it feels like a dream. Because there are a lot of characters that feel like they're fulfilling tropes. Especially characters like Hatsune Miku. Because why the fuck is Hatsune Miku here? That's just... Why? How else do you get Hatsune Miku here? And then you also have the tsundere. You have the lowly character. You have the quiet book reader. You have Slavia, the normal, beautiful one. Who I think Semyon probably would really like. Especially considering he was like talking about this all before the bus started. And he was going on about how do you even meet girls and stuff and whatnot. And I'm not really sure what else could play into this, but it feels like a dream at the moment. A really, really long and detailed dream, but a dream. Especially considering the connection to the fact that he was talking about the dream beforehand, and it had the camp, and it had you had to agree to stay or not, or something, or leave with them. That was the thing. But yeah, they seem to be even more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. That line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part of it was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day. I don't understand the world around them is not what it looks like. Okay. But this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of Saviona Camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now, are those people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers? Or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? It seems I overdid it with thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. 2's company, 3's a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seemed like a good idea. We can at least chat in peace. Or at least try to have a chat. I was on my way to her table when suddenly somebody grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. Do we? What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon, isn't this a bit too sudden? I mean, I might be taken. I'm pretty sure I'm on Slavia's character path. What are you doing? What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down. I suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. Sorry, but I promised Lana. Or, fine, wait a minute. I definitely didn't promise her shit. That would just be an excuse. She clearly wants to talk. There's something important to do. I don't see why not. I didn't promise Lena anything, so I can talk to her another time. Realistically, I probably won't be able to, just knowing how this stuff tends to work, but realistically, if I was here thinking about this, it would be, I can talk to her another time. What do you need? I'm not sure why, but I accepted the invitation. What if I can learn something new? She is such a bookworm. Minute later, I was sitting in front of Zhenya, with a tray and a simple meal on it. Porridge, 2 eggs, 2 pieces of white bread, and a sausage, and a glass of compote. Bon appetit. Thanks. I decided to act as politely as I could, and also eat more neatly, without chomping and spilling crumbs of food and drops of compote and whatnot. So, what do you want to talk about? Today at the library, I wasn't listening from this point on. I immediately recalled Olga's words about the scheduled events for the days. Don't forget... Oh, what? I said, don't forget to visit the library after lunch. What for? Were you even listening? No. Nope. I admitted honestly. Zenya's face turned red, and then appeared green, and then took on a soft purple color. Today, after lunch, you in the library. Got it, Dunce? Dunce? What kind of curse is that? Though a pioneer must never use a curse word, how could I forget this rule? Oh, yeah, sure. I apologize. Of course I'll be there. Actually, I wasn't really planning on going anywhere, but if you want to make someone speak, you need to sacrifice a bit first. By the way, what year is it now? I totally lost count. I decided to play fair. She looked at me perplexedly and answered, Have you gone completely bananas? Honestly, that's how I felt for the past few days. Jenny didn't reply. So what year is it? I smiled kindly. Listen, why don't you go visit the infirmary? Will they tell me what year it is there? Oh, certainly, and even more. Jenny stood up and headed to the exit. Why can't anyone just answer the damn questions? Wait, you didn't finish your meal. But it looks like she won't turn back. Apparently a dramatic exit is more important than eating. I was finishing chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. Okay. I wonder if they have internet access here. Why would you know what that tastes like? I guess not. A pioneer sitting at the next table noticed me, talking to myself, and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. After such a friendly greeting, he for some reason left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues. Sometime later, I finally came to the infirmary. I have nothing to do in that place, though the nurse seemed quite caring. I think it'd also be better to keep my distance from her. Such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I just hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single damn one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing on the porch. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Hi there, pioneer. She came closer. You must be sick. Did you come for medicine? No, I was just wandering around. Oh, a truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you. I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully. You both will help me make an inventory of supplied medicine, which arrived today. Wait, you both? Who's you both? Both? Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. That word could be used. What word could be confused with both? Oh, hi there. Have you been there the entire time? I'm sorry, Lena. Hi. Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. It seemed strange that I hadn't noticed her until now. Come here after dinner and I have explained everything to Lena. She'll tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supplied today. But Olga told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple of days. So, there were visitors to our camp today? Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking? Just curious. Alright then, Pioneer. So tonight after dinner you'll be here. Maybe Lena was barely noticeable this whole time. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja. I could do it on my own. No way, there are lots of boxes. And a Pioneer is always ready. Isn't that so, Pioneer? She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I don't want to spend my whole evening doing something like this, and I've also got more important things to do. But rejecting this request would seem really improper. If it wasn't Lena who was standing there, I would definitely think my way out. You know what, okay, I feel this is a choice between spending time with Lena or not, but I sort of want to rebel against authority. Because I haven't been a teenager myself for quite a few years. That sounds fun. If I was turned back into a teen and sent to a Soviet youth camp, then I think I would rebel against authority. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to her. I should think before I say something. Oh, I thought about it. I just didn't really think very intelligently about it. Don't worry. Oh, really? What exactly are you going to be helping her with? It was turning out bad, but I decided to stand my ground. Her cabin, she asked me to clean it up, sort things out, and so on. Didn't she say something about a ball tonight, though? That's the only thing I remember that from what she told me. But you know what a mess the cabin is. Sure. She asked you to tidy up her closet, too? The nurse looked at me so intensely that Napoleon's fiasco with the Battle of Waterloo seemed a small annoyance compared to my current flop. I was going to say something, but she continued to speak. Okay then, Pioneer. We'll manage it without you. I apologize, but you see, I said and looked at Lena. She stood looking at the ground like before, blushing more and more. It's alright, I'll manage it on my own. Okay, I sort of feel bad about leaving her there, but I don't like her. I don't like her at all. An awkward silence followed. I wanted to sink into the ground because of my lame lie that I probably offended Lena with. Well, goodbye then? Bye. The nurse was still smiling spitefully. Oh, I feel good about my rebellion against authority. I turned and walked away, almost running. Though, in fact, I really wanted to run, common sense advised me not to. I came back to my senses when I reached the square. So, what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I found myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. Wait, I have a cell phone? I thought, if I was thrown back in time, how the hell do I have a cell phone? Suddenly I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. Oh, Miku, probably. I listened to it carefully. It sounded like an electric guitar. 3 repeating chords, no more. But this melody still somehow felt warm, as if vacuum tube audio amplifier was being used. Could there be such a luxury here? The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage area. I wonder who it could be. I mean, it's definitely Miku. No, who cares? I better go keeping on looking for answers. Why would random music lead me to answer? I could be a clue. It's probably saying go look for Miku, but realistically here, I think if I was going to hear it, I would think of it just like any other background noise, like if I heard a game going on at the football field, soccer field. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? I have better things to do. I came back to the leader's cabin. Olga was lying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Semyon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. I've forgotten something, so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh, yeah, I apologize. Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today, just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Like, you go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavia's in charge there. Strange. I just been there and hadn't seen anyone. Or you could go visit the boys in the electronic club. They asked for a hand. Ah, those fathers of invention again. Finally, you could help at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with work? Seriously, except for Slavia, no one ever works here, while some people in particular are enjoying their free time with youthful spirit. Every one of the leader's attempts to keep me busy seems to only serve one purpose, to prevent me from finding my own current location. Really, all the deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all the rubbish and litter. And in my case, taking some time to work would probably pay off, but just like someone gangrene and rejecting an amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. You know, I already had my own arrangements. Oh really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I can't just tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? I mean, no, it's too dangerous. At least now I maintain a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Just as I thought, what exactly she thought remains secret. You probably have not yet realized how important it is to participate in social life. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model. I didn't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers in this world can be found in the most unexpected places, or at least I wanted to believe. So, should I choose for you? The leader's voice turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin. I just feel as though this is going to turn out like... I feel as though I rejected spending time with Lena. Or no, I could have spent time with Lena at night. That was my decision. Whoever the librarian lady is, I don't remember her name. She's after lunch. I'm sure I rejected spending time with Miku because I didn't go to the music. This is probably... this is probably the annoying kid. I don't want to do that. She was playing football the other day, I think. I definitely don't want to do shit with them. I mean, I'm actually sort of curious why Slavia wasn't there when I was just there. Always choose the lesser of two evils, they say. Well, three in this case. Slavia wasn't evil at all, so my choice was obvious. Any rational being keeps his house clean, but I usually perceive house cleaning as somewhat akin to gym workouts. Yeah, it's good for you, but not my sort of thing at all. However, I like the idea of painting benches or helping to... I like the idea of painting benches or of helping to future geniuses of Russian or Soviet science, even less. Well, there's about a dozen pioneers at the square. Where did they all come from, I wonder? I approached Slavia. Hi there. Oh, hi, you've come to help? Well, not of my own free will, of course, but I thought it over again. I see. Take this broom. Your area is right next to the monument. Oh, you already have an area picked out for me. Frankly speaking, there's nothing to sweep there. It just seemed pretty clean to me, though some rubbish was still laying around. After sweeping for a while, I came back to Slavia, who was on the bench and taking a break. What a nice day, eh? Yeah, though it's a bit too hot. She shaded her eyes with her hand and looked up at the sky. You're like a tireless worker of communist labor. Oh, come now. I just like helping others. That's good. What about you? What about me? Well, it seems like you find community service a bit of a burden. Well, probably. Why is that? I don't really know. Seriously, she can't expect me to just unload all my ideas concerning this point on her. She might drown in them, God forbid. Maybe you just don't like company? That actually seems quite possible. There's some truth in Slavia's words. I suppose that she was good at reading other people's minds, or at least at reading mine. Though, how can that be possible if I even find it hard to understand myself at times? Well, you have this tendency, Semyon, to go on these long rants in your mind, and maybe the more you complicate your thoughts, the bigger problem you'll have understanding what you're even thinking in the first place. And I think that's part of your problem. What are you going to do when the session is over? What do you mean? Oh, okay. In the USSR, a person finishing the high school typically had to choose between either getting a college degree, typically achieving a status of engineer or scientist, or going to secondary vocational school, thus mastering a profession. Well, are you going to enter college, or do you want to master a profession? I've already achieved grand mastery of all my professions, watching anime and surfing the internet. I don't know yet, but what about you? We have a small farm back home, so I want to help my parents there. It all sounded pretty strange. Are there any private farms in the USSR? Where all the farming has to be collective? But I decided to not go into details. And what are your parents doing? Oh, and what are your parents doing? My parents were not a good subject for discussion. It is not that my parents are not good. Quite the opposite. They are kind-hearted people. But it's not the right time for such a discussion. My father works at the local council. My mother is a teacher. That wasn't actually true. More like a half-truth. Cool. She really seemed to consider that a cool thing. I guess so. The conversation had reached a dead end, so I was trying to take my eyes off Slavia and kept my gaze under my feet up to the sky just looking around. I'm pretty sure you'll also be fine. Slavia looked at me thoughtfully. Now, what was that for? What was that also about? Thanks, I mumbled. But what do you mean? I suppose that you happen to be too pessimistic at times. Isn't that way too straightforward? Maybe. But you're gonna be alright. Maybe. After this conversation, I felt ill. Ill at ease. On the other hand, there was nothing special in her words. In general, almost any person in Slavia's shoes would come to a similar conclusion. Nevertheless, I felt, and not for the first time, that she could see right through me. So let's get to cleaning. She smiled and took the broom. I never thought that cleaning could be such a deep pleasure, and I feel as though that's a perfect place to leave it off for today. So hopefully this didn't come too late. Let's just say my times to record came at a point that let's call it the world in my life became a bit more busy, and the times I had planned to record this was swept under feet, and now I'm recording this at the very last minute, in the very last opportunity I do to even get it out remotely near the time I was planning to post this on Saturday. So hopefully it's still Saturday somewhere. It's actually in my time zone late Saturday now, so hopefully this is edited up within a relatively timely manner. Hopefully anyone who's looking forward to this can see it now. I'm sorry for it being late. Just how things ended up. I'm probably going to use this time now to record the next episode, so that can go up on time, presumably on Thursday. These are going to be 2 a week if you haven't noticed yet. Like most of my sort of like twice a week series that go from 40 minutes to an hour long per episode. And it should, I don't know how long this is. It's supposed to be, what was it, like 5 hours or so? So there should be a few more episodes at least. And my general plan is I'm going to go to the ending, and I'm going to get whatever end my instincts just going through this are. And if there's like a true end or a better end that I definitely should get in order to understand the game better, then I'll probably look up a guide to get that, and then I'll go through that, and that'll probably be extensive what it is, unless like the ending really ramps it up and I just want to get like every single ending, which isn't usually how it works for me, but I guess I'll find out come time. But I hope you all enjoyed this. Drive safely. Have a good one.